So ever since I was young, I never really considered myself studious. Breaking news, Kai Notebook admits he was never productive. Jokes aside, I remember when I was in middle school, I would pursue other hobbies, spend literal hours on my computers playing video games, or chat endlessly with my friends. I don't even think I studied religiously during my time in high school, and yes, ironic considering I make productivity content now. But then, during my time in senior high school, I started studying out of my own will for some reason. Not because I wanted to get a better grade, it was more like I just wanted to learn. And this was the result. These are the grades I got from senior high, and yes, you're looking at it correctly, this is not a flex, I'm a straight A student. Like, this personality switch was so drastic that even my parents were shocked of how I came about. Mind you, they didn't even pressure me or anything, this was my own volition. I even joined study communities, studied with other people online during the pandemic, and I even managed to pass the subject in my dental school that most of my other classmates didn't. And yet, until now, I'm still that same guy who still pursues other hobbies and playing countless hours of Rainbow Six Siege on my free time with friends. So you may be wondering, how the heck did I manage to make studying enjoyable? The first thing you need to ask yourself is, why? What is your purpose with studying? Is it to get better grades? Is it to get a better future? Without really having a purpose of why you're studying, it's gonna be really hard for you to really get into it in the first place. Because if you don't have a purpose, then literally studying will just be a chore for you. Studying will just literally be something you have to do rather than something you want to do. And you'll just get lost in the school sauce and you're just gonna not enjoy studying. Now, this was kind of the problem I had when I was in middle school, or pretty much the majority of my school life, is because I didn't really know why I was studying. I didn't even know what I wanted to be. I didn't really have a purpose, hence why I didn't really care about studying. I didn't really know what I was doing in my life, and I didn't even know what career I wanted to go through at that time. So had I known what idea I had for myself for a career, even if it would be a very vague, idea, it's still better than nothing. And it would have given me enough reason for me to start even trying when it comes to studying. So try to ask yourself, why do you even want to love studying in the first place? So in my case, I genuinely love science in general. Mathematics and science are two subjects I really enjoy. And I never really had that much trouble in those subjects. And I realized just how interesting those two subjects are. And instead of thinking, I need to study this to pass, I just thought, wow, I can study science and math, and these are very interesting concepts. Moving on to my next point, which was a big mindset change for me, was learning the fact that studying is not a privilege. It's also a discipline. You have to kind of realize that studying is not something everyone gets to do. Like, learning advanced education is a privilege that we all tend to forget. The fact that we're able to dive deep into our specific fields of academics, learning new things about the world, learning the intricacies of our respective fields, it's really a blessing, really, for us to be able to get this access to this kind of information or this kind of education. Like, I get it, being financially rich is fine. Like, sure, you don't have to study for that. You don't have to study to really become rich. But being intellectually rich is something not even the rich people can do. Being wise is not something everyone can easily do. But you guys have to also realize that studying is not just a privilege, and everyone seems to gloss over this fact, but studying is also a discipline. Studying is a discipline that you have to learn and to develop throughout time. Obviously, we're not going to love studying all the time. If you all magically love studying, then obviously you won't be watching this video. This video won't even be made. You're not going to magically love studying, and it's not something that will just instantly click on your head. You'll have to build discipline within yourself to take within your time of day to study. Think of your brain like a muscle you need to exercise. Not only do you have to enjoy the process, but you have to be disciplined enough to do it every day for you to enjoy it. Now, you can do this by studying a day or every week if you want a set amount of hours. Now, this is very counterintuitive because you should not study in terms of duration, but you should study in terms of how well you learn the content. But if you want a good starting point, like, try 1 hour at least every day and then roll from there. You're not going to do this most of your time studying. This 1 hour is more of to keep the ball rolling, or to start the ball rolling rather, so that you can have the habit of just stopping whatever you're doing throughout the day and just open your book or open your textbook and just start studying. And once you've built that habit, you can throw away the time requirement and you can just study based on how well you've understood the concept. So that is kind of the more effective way of studying. But you can start by studying a set amount of time in order to keep the ball rolling. Which moves me to my next point, which is that think of studying as an exploration. Now just stop and think about it. You're exploring new territory. you're pretty much learning the things that you've never known before. Just saying like that sounds cool already, right? Like you're exploring unknown territory. Well, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say the cliche, but the learning system that we've developed through school kind of ruined what studying is. Well, I get that you definitely should have standardized tests in order to identify if a student actually knows what he's doing and is not just bullshitting half of the time. It kind of also took away the joy of what school really is, which is learning. It started to become very numerical. It started to become very graded in a way, instead of what it actually is, which is learning. You're literally going to school or university to learn new things. Bonus points if those things are in your interests. Now, for example, medicine. As fucky as it is that you have to memorize like thousands and thousands of facts, it's amazing that you get to learn like a lot of facts about your body, about different medicines, how they affect your body, how your body responds to different medicines. That's just very interesting. Now, the thing is, when you're learning at a fast pace, especially in higher education, it can be very, very overwhelming. Don't underestimate higher education and how much you have to learn. Definitely, that's a big factor to what makes studying so unenjoyable, is the fact that you have to learn so much information in a short amount of time. And everything can get messy and chaotic. So how can you make this learning process fun? Well, let's move on to my next point, is to set a proper study system. Set up schedules, set up study routines, make plans on how you're going to tackle certain subjects. Throw away your notes, download a Notion template for your university, write down all your goals. I can't stress how much free resources there are out there about how you can study more effectively. I'm sorry, there's just way too much. Like, I may even make a full video about that, just one video of all the evidence-based studying tips for you guys, but you can literally just search evidence-based study tips and there's just so many. If you have trouble memorizing, flashcards. If you have trouble conceptualizing, use mind maps. If you have trouble understanding, use Feynman's technique. There's so many study-based techniques that you can use now. It's honestly insane. And you just have to do your research and search the optimal ways to learn. I will be making a video in the future about this, so stay tuned for that. And finally, the last tip I have is for you to join a study community. Now, this varies from people to people. I know that a lot of people are introverts, especially viewers of my channel, but I really recommend surrounding yourself with studious people and like-minded individuals who can often help you become better in studying. Very hard to really gauge your process by yourself unless you surround yourself with people with similar-minded goals. You can ask your friends to set up study sessions, or you can join a Discord or join communities around your school. Even if you are an introvert, I do believe that there's always a community out there for you, so just look for that. Now, I know a lot of you will be like, Kai, I want to be mysterious. I want to be that mysterious guy who miraculously gets high grades. Well, no one cares. If I see a random guy in my class getting high grades, I wouldn't bat an eye because I would be busy worrying about my own grades. I'll be worried about my own shit. I'm an introvert, but I also know the importance of connecting with people, and you can't go through life without having a strong set of friends. Trust me on that. I'm a big introvert, and that goes for studying as well. I'm sure there are a lot of people who study alone all the time, but in my opinion, it's much better if you have a good set of friends who inspire you to push you forward. Obviously, if you really don't like the people around you, then it's fine. You will get your friends in the future. You don't have to rush. There are definitely cases where people have aced schools by themselves, and that's perfectly fine. But building connections with friends is not only helpful in terms of academics, but makes you also learn different skills like how to set up hangouts with your friends, how to reach out to people and all that. Those are very important life skills that you have to learn. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. School season is starting soon, so I'm wishing you guys good luck for your next school season. It's been a while since I've talked to the camera to you guys like this, so I also hope you like my new haircut. I cut my new haircut in a different salon now. I really love it. He did a really good job on my hair, so yeah, I really like it. Anyway, if you want to watch more of me, you know where to find me. It's Kai Notebook. And don't forget to drink your water. Bye-bye. I need to go to school now.